This is my video for CIS220, week with the Sunday date of October 6th. This week we're just talking about how we think the project is going so far on our Enigma machine. Things like how the team works, what we've got done so far, how we think things are going in general. I think at this point in time we all have set goals on what we're expected to do. We've all been given set tasks by the supposed customer, or not customer, the team lead of the group by Ed, and now we all have our set goals, which has kind of really divided the work and allowed us to focus on one specific thing instead of just being given a huge project and told to, just kind of figure it out between us, which should have been doable, but for a group of new people who aren't used to the type of work that we're doing, and where some people are better at some things or not so good at others, it makes it hard for everyone to kind of figure out what they want to do. But once we were all given our tasks, and a week later we all weren't fully done with them, but we came back with a lot of solid work to really show that we're making progress on this. My main task was to make the wheel builder, and I have a program that takes in a letter set that we've decided upon to convert or encrypt the Gettysburg Address. So all of the letters and anything else that are in the Gettysburg Address should be converted by this. It takes it in, and then we have just two functions, one to take in the initial letter set and randomize it, and then another which creates a blank dictionary and then creates a key and then runs the program to make a randomized list of the initial letter set and then adds that key value pair into the dictionary and then exports all of that out into a program that's titled wheeldictionary.py. There isn't too much more I think I could add to this that does basically what we want it. The only other real thing we could do is if we were worried about making the same exact wheel with the same randomized letter set, I could add in a check to make sure that none of the others are the same, but I don't think that's necessarily an important task, and if you had the two of the same, I don't know how it would fully affect the actual difficulty of cracking the code. But at this point we make 100 wheels, and I'm not even sure if we'll be using 100 in our main program, but we at least have the ability to reference from at least 100. And it can be easily changed to do as many as we want. Kwong and Stephanie made the actual screens for the whole program to be able to maneuver around and do what we want, while John and Evan created a program for the actual encryption and decryption. And I think all of us, when we were first given our tasks, felt a little lost, but after getting some assistance from the professor on how to, start the work and really get into it, by the time we left class, I think we all had a pretty good idea of what we wanted to do. And after a week, I'd say we've done pretty good with finding, coming back to the class with something that works and something that can be used. I think one thing we could probably work on is making our GitHub quite a bit more organized to be, more useful and more understanding if we wanted to show it to anyone else. I know Emily has been testing some of our work and has said that it seems to be doing pretty good so far. So I think at this point we have about a month left until we have to turn in our project, and I think it's actually at the point where it should work, and I think we'll be happy with what we have, and I think our customer will be happy with what we have as well. Some other things that the questions for the week, talking about projects that are screen driven and should the screens come first if that's the case. I have a tough time deciding on what exactly a screen driven project means, because if most projects I would think are screen driven, and if the screen should come first, it can be a little difficult to know exactly what you're going to want until you've made all the programs and know what it's going to do. But I think the screen should come first, because if you have no way of displaying it, it's important to be able to actually show what you're making. And that way, in an agile setup, you can present your work even if it's not fully done. And that's the end of this video.